There are moments in life that don't just change your circumstances, they change you. Moments where everything familiar breaks at the same time, and you're left trying to figure out how to keep going when nothing feels the same. If you've ever been in that place, this space is for you. Welcome to Reshaped by Loss. I'm Crystal, your host, and this podcast was created for the honest conversations we don't always have. The ones about grief, healing, faith, and what it looks like to be rebuilt after life has shattered something you loved. Today I want to share something very personal. I recently hosted an event called Reshaped by Loss, and it was one of the most meaningful spaces I've ever been a part of. Not because it was perfect, but because it was real. People showed up with their stories, their grief, their questions, and their hearts open. And what I witnessed was something I believe we all need more of, and that's community. Community in the middle of brokenness. So in this episode, I want to take you inside that experience. Why I created it, what was shared, and what I believe God is teaching all of us through loss. Because even in the breaking, something sacred can still happen. I created Reshaped by Loss because I understand what it feels like to walk through grief and still be expected to function. To smile when you're exhausted. To answer, "I'm fine," when you're anything but. And to feel like you're surrounded by people, but still deeply alone. My heart behind this event was simple. To create a safe space where people didn't have to perform their healing. A space where grief could be spoken about honestly. Where tears weren't something to hide. And where community could begin to form again. Because I believe something deeply. We were never meant to heal in isolation. At the center of this event was a concept called Kintsugi. Kintsugi is a traditional Japanese art form where broken pottery is repaired using gold. But instead of hiding the cracks, they are highlighted. They are filled with gold. And what was once considered broken becomes something even more valuable than before. That idea connects so deeply to our lives because so many of us try to hide what broke us. We try to move on quickly. We try to pretend the cracks aren't there. But Kintsugi reminds us, what if the breaking wasn't the end of the story? What if it was the beginning of transformation? During the event, we talked honestly about grief. We talked about how it doesn't follow a timeline, how it can make you feel numb, overwhelmed, disconnected, even from yourself, and how sometimes people don't know what to say, so they ask, "Are you okay?" But the truth is, sometimes we don't even know how to answer that. Because what we really need isn't a question. It's presence. It's understanding. It's a safe place to fall apart without judgment. And in that space, something powerful happened. people realized they were not alone in what they were feeling. My daughter also shared during the event, and I want to summarize her message in a way that honors her voice and experience. She spoke about what it feels like to enter survival mode after loss. While life keeps moving, but internally, everything feels paused or fragmented. She shared how grief can affect identity, emotions, and the ability to process life clearly. And she expressed something very real, that there are moments when you don't even know what you need. You just know that you need something different than what you've been given. Her message reminded us that grief is not always visible on the outside, but it is deeply felt on the inside. And sometimes the most healing thing we can offer someone is not advice, but safety, patience, and presence. One of the scriptures that anchored this entire experience was Matthew 11:28. And this reading comes from the NLT version. Come to me, all you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. That invitation from Jesus is not conditional. It is not based on perfection. It is an invitation to come as you are. We also reflected on Psalms 91:2, also NLT version. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust him. This is a reminder that even when life feels unstable, God remains steady. And one of my daughter's favorite scriptures, Exodus 14:14, NLT. The Lord himself will fight for you. Just stay calm. That is a reminder that we are not always meant to fix everything ourselves. Sometimes healing begins when we stop striving and start trusting. What became clear through this event is this: grief does not mean God is absent, and brokenness does not mean we are abandoned. Sometimes God is most present in the breaking, not rushing us, not forcing us, but sitting with us and slowly, gently reshaping what feels undone. If there is anything I want you to take from this episode, it is this: you are not disqualified by what broke you. You are not forgotten in your grief, and you are not meant to carry it alone. Kintsugi teaches us that broken things can still become beautiful, but faith teaches us something deeper: that God does not just repair us, he restores us, he reshapes us, and he remains with us through every crack, every tear, and every rebuilding. So today, I don't just share an event with you. I share a testimony of community forming again, of hearts being seen, of grief being honored, and of God meeting us right in the middle of it all. Because love does not end, it transforms, and so do we. As I close this episode, I just want to leave you with this: you are not meant to carry your grief alone. You are not required to have it all figured out. and you are not disqualified by what broke you. Healing doesn't always look like moving on quickly. Sometimes it looks like sitting in community. Sometimes it looks like being honest about where you really are. And sometimes it looks like allowing God to slowly, gently reshape what feels undone. So whatever you are listening from today, don't hide your brokenness. Don't rush your healing. And don't walk through it alone. Let yourself be reshaped. Because even here, even now, love does not end. It transforms. And so do we. Until next time, this is Crystal, reminding you that you are seen, you are held, and you do not have to walk this journey alone.